Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by now. Here's JP.
Oh, I missed you guys yesterday. All right, not really. No, a little bit. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of the JP Peterson Show. It's going to feel like Monday all day long. I'll screw that up 100 times. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's Big O show. For those of you who tuned in, we were taking the day off for President's Day, observing our wonderful presidents, most of them. And
most of them?
Actually, none of them.
All right.
George and Leonard Levy. Now that we know what we know, they're all frauds. George and Leonard Levy charity golf tournament yesterday out at beautiful Carrollwood Country Club. Saw a lot of familiar faces out there. Love to see you guys. That's always fun to play in that event out there. And we raised probably $40,000, maybe $50,000 for local youth sports. Here's what we do at the Tampa Bay Sports Club of Tampa Bay, I should say, which I am a board member. A great job by our entire team. Lou Maggio, our president. We had a great day. Chris Lato did an unbelievable job. They did a fantastic setup out there, and we had absolutely incredible time. So thank you guys for having me out there, and we had a really good group, and we raised a lot of money, which was a lot of fun. Good morning to you, IndyCar Tim. How are you, partner?
Man, I'm recovering from a hellacious long weekend.
From watching college baseball, did you know?
Of 4 Valentine's dates,
oh my
3
God.
days of butt to nut indoor college baseball, and then regular work on top of all of that. Yeah, we had games at 11, at 3.
Are you working this event, or were you just enjoying baseball?
Working it. I don't know. I was worked. I want to enjoy baseball 3 days in a row indoors, sir.
No way.
I was working it. TCU and Texas Tech were both in this tournament, along with Oklahoma State, Arkansas, Vanderbilt. The Shriners Children's College Showdown is what it was out there. And, of course, I covered TCU and Texas Tech for FanStream Sports and for Roundtable Sports. So I was out there pulling double duty on everything.
All right. Well, and everybody wants to know how the Applebee's rotational booth went.
All right. Well, there was no Applebee's. I told y'all last week that's a special treat. You don't get Applebee's on the first date, and all of these were first dates. Well, except for one, but I don't really like her anyway. So,
first Valentine's Day first dates? That seems a little weird.
Why isn't that what it's for?
No, it's for confirming the one you love at the time.
F that. I'm not confirming anybody. That's stupid. Why would you confirm anybody? No, hell no. I don't have a steady girlfriend.
Oh, all right.
These are all girls that have been dying to go out with me for like a year, and I was like, good, we'll do a Valentine's Day thing. That way I can end it when I want.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ashley's already calling you out. So Tim, don't be a player. Quality over quantity, for real. Come on.
All right. Well, show me somebody quality, and we'll talk.
I got one. I found one.
Well,
took me
she's taken, so
45 years,
and she's not blonde or redhead.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right. Lots to get into today. Scotty Reynolds is going to join us at 10:30. We're going to talk about what we hope will be a busy Bucs offseason to replace the entire front seven. Well, not the entire front seven, but they probably need 7 players with new starters and backups to replenish that group that was substandard last year. So we'll get into that as far as the combine coming up next week, I believe. Man, we're already into combine. It's crazy how fast this goes for the NFL.
Yep.
Rays Fanfest this weekend was a huge success. Estimated over 50,000 Rays fans came out. We'll talk a little bit about that. Orestes Destrade will join us. He was down there for all the festivities. And we're starting to see an emergence of the owners, the new owners. We had some conversations last week, and I certainly implored whoever would listen that you guys need to get out there. You need to get out there in the community. People want to see you. They want to we know that things are different. We're hearing great things all across the board for everybody who's dealing with this ownership group in an official and unofficial capacity in terms of politicians, and then the fans got to chat with Ken Babby at FanFest. Patrick Zalupski now has his own X account that people are interacting with, and he's interacting with that. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, Patrick Zalupski now following FanStream Sports Tampa Bay X account.
There you go. Zalupski now. Let's get it right.
So you got to say Zalupski.
It's a loop in there. There's a loop in there.
All right.
So Zalupski, yeah. They know us. They love us. So, and just as we know, these stadium talks are going to kind of happen and negotiate under the radar. There's not going to be a public hearing of the negotiations, but when the negotiations are done and they have a plan, then that will go to public hearings and people can make their comments and figure out how this is all going to get done. Just for the record, though, I'd just like to say that I have never said that this is a done deal. It is. I'm very positive. I've never been more positive that it's going to get done, but I've never said it's going to be a done deal. I've said that politics are weird and weird things happen in politics. And we're talking about this kind of big money. Weird things happen. I think everything is in place. Never had more support from a political or from an ownership standpoint in terms of wanting to get it done and having the ability to get it done from a financial standpoint. So all these things that we've never had have come together. We've never had the commissioner come down here in terms of supporting a new deal with the governor. With commissioners come down, but not with the governor, with the commissioner, an ownership group that can actually get it done and wants to get it done, and a political bodies in terms of the mayor and the county commission that have said nothing but great things about this ownership group and how different and refreshing it is. So with all these things in place, I'm extremely confident. But is it a done deal? Nope. We're a long way from that. We're a long way from that. But I feel like we're going to get there, and I'm very excited about everything that's in place right now. And that's what you need to get it done. If you look at, and I've been through many of these stadium things, I should say many, been through a few of these stadium things that have actually worked when we were in Atlanta and some other places. And that's how these things get done. When you have an ownership group that doesn't have the money or the will or the political favor, things don't get done, which is what the past regime was. So I'm very confident it will get done. And in terms of FanFest, I did not go. I had other pressing issues to attend to.
You didn't want to upstage Big O being there.
I didn't want to, it's just FanFest is for the fans. It's for the fans.
JP.
Fans, and they don't need me lurking around there. And Brett Phillips was front and center and is has been hired as, I don't know what his official capacity is, but basically community affairs, getting out into the community, hosted a lot of the onstage events and does a great job with that. I mean, the guy is just one of the most charismatic people ever. And also maybe one of the greatest moments, certainly one of the greatest moments in Rays history. One of my favorite moments happened in your ballpark there in Globe Life when they won that World Series games and he's doing the airplane out into the outfield. That was a phenomenal moment.
Wasn't he just playing? Like, did he retire and I missed it? He was just playing, right?
Yeah, just a couple of years ago. I think he's been out of the game for maybe a year, maybe two. So, yeah. So, yeah, a lot of good things happen. And more than anything, when you get 50,000 fans showing up for anything, it's not even a game. You can't even fit 50,000 in the Trop. And they, by the way, had lots of great video of the field being down. The Trop looks great. Some of the panels have not colored in white. They're supposed to, at some point become white because of the sun. Yeah, whatever, bleach out. So that looks a little weird, but other than that,
I've seen social media posts, JP, that have not been kind to the new Trop. With pictures of the roof panels all mismatched and stuff, and saying somehow they made the ugliest stadium in baseball look even worse. Come on,
look, it's
through a lot in Tampa.
It's the Trop. I mean, there's, as I've said for years, there's only so much lipstick you can put on a pig, and it is what it is. It is a outdated, ugly stadium inside and out, and it looks like something out of the '80s because that's when it was designed.
Yeah,
It's a long, long time ago. And, for any other franchise with a decent owner, that would have been replaced long ago before the hurricanes hit. And your roof that was 10 years past its life would not have been ripped off. That's why you do these things in the appropriate times. But we did not. So we got stuck because of our cheap owner with having to do all these things. So that's not on anybody's fault but Stu Sternberg. And that's the truth. So now we got hopefully a new stadium on the way, a state-of-the-art stadium, an indoor stadium, which is what we've always deserved. As I've always said, we've done this so poorly, and the Marlins have done it so poorly. And I talked about that on Friday. And we're finally going to get it right with a ownership group that cares about the community, an ownership group that has deep pockets, an ownership group that has great connections politically, and truly, truly cares about Tampa Bay. We've never had that. We've never had that here in Tampa. I think Vince Namoli cared. He was just such a social buffoon that, and I mean that in the nicest way. He just was so socially awkward. Yeah, just, didn't have the money. Very awkward, very just bad. These guys have everything you need to be successful. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And I think we saw that at FanFest. I think we saw, for all the social media stuff that I saw and all the reporting I saw was like fans are really jacked up about the future of this franchise finally. And as I've said, once we move on from the Wicked Witch and to this group, I think you're going to bring so many more people back into the fold that have left because of bad ownership and all the things that are going on. And you're really going to see the full potential and dare I say girth of this fan base. It's big. And now it will show. Boy, that's a clip that you will have forever there, Timmy. And I think this Fan Fest was just a little slice of that. And it's going to get, I think attendance will be up this year at the Trop. Even though this is not a team that has a lot of stars. From the baseball side, I'm still very iffy about this team until they show us different. I mean, I have confidence because of the people that have done it before, and talking about Kyle Snyder and Kevin Cash and Eric Neander, that they'll figure something out. Last 2 years have been rough. Let's not sugarcoat it. And this lineup certainly doesn't scare anybody, especially when you compare it to the other teams in the AL East. But pitching and defense go a long way, especially in the Trop. So now they have all those things back in place, and let's see what they can do. I think it looks to me to be about a 500 team, but hey, you have one hot month and you can get to the playoffs, and then anything can happen. Which especially this team, if their rotation stays healthy and they can get to the playoffs and throw Shane McClanahan, Ryan Pepio, and Rasmussen at you, I'll take my chance, and a really good bullpen. I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances in the postseason with that group. Now, the chances of all three of those guys making it through the regular season to the playoffs are probably pretty slim. But, we'll hope for the best and enjoy being back at the Trop as much as we can. There'll be a lot of new stuff there. I guess the blessing is they're going to put they're putting 60, 70 million into this building. So it's a refurbishment that never would have happened without the hurricane. Yep. So a lot's going to be new and a lot's going to be fun. And
probably
a lot's going to be
better
different
than it did before the hurricane too.
Hopefully it will smell better. Hopefully, the floors, like just walking around, the floors were so like caked over. I mean, it was bad. It was a dump. So maybe a fresh coat of paint, redo the floors. I think there's a lot of new seats, a lot of new lighting, new sound system, all that stuff is new. So it might be brighter and more fun. The field looks great. Field looks fantastic. So hopefully the players like it. It's not as wearing on their joints and stuff, and it's all good. But I think there's a lot of positivity around the Rays, and that's a good thing. That's an absolutely wonderful thing. Absolutely. All right, moving on to some other topics. Scott Reynolds is going to join us, so we'll talk a lot of Bucs. A lot of things happened over the weekend that I wanted to get to, starting with Daytona 500. The Daytona 500 was, just tune in late, folks. Just tune in late. That's all you got to do. Last lap is going to determine the winner. They should have called the Daytona 1 and get rid of the 500 because it's just basically the final lap and
Come
just pure
on.
carnage.
You have the build up to the final lap. Like, I'm not a NASCAR fan. We just talked about that. I don't even know Daytona ran, to be honest with you. But I love oval racing. Okay, it's their strategy. JP, don't minimize it.
Of course there is. See the smoke, hit the gas, go right for the smoke. Isn't that what they said in Days of Thunder? I mean, of course there is, and there was, and I thought the final lap was incredible. To be honest with you, the strategy involved, and there's a ton of luck involved. And Tyler Reddick, who had been absolutely zero in the race the entire day, the guys are even at the end. Is like, I don't think we ever talked about him all day long, but he got into the right slot and made a couple of really, really smart moves or lucky moves, take your pick. And he avoided a absolute carnage behind him. And for the first time, they didn't bring out the yellow. And I don't know if this is a new thing or whatever, but it was pretty cool because most of these races have ended in a yellow or they have to go green, white checkers or whatever the hell that is. And away they go. But this one, they just let it happen. And once he got out front, everything behind him was kind of secondary. So it was an exciting finish. And then Michael Jordan and his team celebrate. And whenever Michael Jordan wins anything, it's big news. And if anything can save NASCAR,
Michael Jordan's the team owner.
Yeah.
So this was the Danny Hamlin Jordan, the 2311 whatever racing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
They just won that big court case that kind of wrestled away the stranglehold that the France family has had on NASCAR, the sport, which I'm not going to pretend to know a whole hell of a lot about, except I think it's good for the sport. From some of the articles I read, it's good for the sport. And this is maybe a new day. And if Michael Jordan's winning stuff, and obviously he's one of the biggest stars in sports still, was it 30, 20 years after he played? It's incredible.
Yeah.
Still is that guy, despite maybe some questionable behavior in Victory Lane, whatever the hell that was. It's good for the sport. And, I don't think the Daytona 500's gotten any run on any major news circuits for a long, long time, but it did this week. And that's because of Michael Jordan. And that might be something that revives a sport that I once loved and covered a lot because I spent 2 years doing TV in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I drove to every track within, a 300-mile radius. And the sport was much bigger then. It was better then. It was simpler then. And to your point now, Timmy, you're a race fan, but I don't even understand how the hell the rules work, the playoffs work, anything. I read it one time and my head exploded, and I said, that's enough. I don't need any more of that. So I don't know. I hope the sport comes back because I think when it's at its best, and we have stars that are racing every week, and they have great personalities, and they fight and all that good stuff. I think it's fun to watch. But I think they've just, when the sport started to wane a little bit, they just started doing things that kind of screwed everything up and just made it more complicated. I don't think that's necessarily great for the sport. Would you agree?
100%. It's too convoluted. And, I don't understand stage racing. I don't understand why it's necessary, why we got to have 3 winners of a race and why you get points for leading at a certain point of the race. I don't understand the playoff system or why we need it. We used to just run on points, and you're basically eliminating everybody but 10 drivers at the end of the season. I don't like it in golf, and I don't like it in NASCAR, the stupid playoffs. But it's, F1 was never the most popular racing series in America until NASCAR decided to implode. It would have been IndyCar if IndyCar wouldn't have self-imploded with the split back in the late 90s, and it's still trying to recover from that. So F1 just came by and said, hey, you know what, guys? We're going to race 3 races in America, and we'll be the biggest racing series in America. And I think they've taken it over. I just can't get back on board with NASCAR because to me, it's almost like soccer. I don't understand it, so I can't watch it. I love watching the big tracks. I love watching the road courses. I don't know any of the drivers. I have no connection to that. I don't know any of the teams. I don't have any connection with those. It's just like a sport I've never watched before now. And I followed it for years and years and years.
Yeah. I mean, when I was covering it, it was awesome. It was awesome because I did understand it. I understand, car setups, different tracks,
Yep.
tires, strategy, fuel, all that stuff goes into it. And it was like I had almost an understanding to the level of football that I have now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I could watch a race and I could see all the different things that were happening and be like, ooh, this is really cool. And then there became a time when I just was like, what are they talking about? I don't, what is a Camry? Why is there Camry on my?
Why is Toyota in NASCAR? Where's Dodge? Where's Pontiac? What the hell?
I used to have muscle cars out there. What is this thing? I don't know.
Camrys.
Yeah.
I miss the Thunderbirds. What I miss.
It's something about that with that moment. With a Camry, like, what is it? Who's the driver? Karen Johnson? Like, it's a Camry? What next? I don't, it was, what are we doing?
I think the Camry's the dominant car right now, isn't it?
Don't tell me that.
I think it is. I think the Camry is the dominant car in NASCAR right now. I think. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but
there's your problem. Start, finish, end of problem, full stop.
The Camry dominates NASCAR.
The Toyota Camry is dominating NASCAR. That's your problem.
Well, and they're racing. There are no four-door sedans anymore. They can't race four-door sedans. That used to be the thing. It had to be the four-door, right? And that's
when the Taurus. Remember when
the Taurus? I guess those were two doors. Yeah, you started when the two doors started going away, like the Thunderbirds. They had to switch to the Taurus, the Grand Prix, the Buicks. The Regals and the Grand. Those were all car. Now we've got Toyota Camrys, we've got Mustangs, we got Camaros. Those aren't stock cars.
If they had a race that brought back those cars, like
before
like the
really
Daytona fun,
right now.
Yeah, I know that would be the most watched race. Screw you! Had a bunch of jacked up Monte Carlos out there, Chargers. Come on, it's the starting line all painted up.
That would be
Come
awesome.
on.
Well, I guess congratulations to Michael Jordan. He's finally successful as an owner of something.
Yeah,
right. Because he couldn't do it in basketball. God, what a horrible owner in basketball.
Right. As Rick said, the Bucs left guard owns a NASCAR team. Who knew? Not that Michael Jordan.
I mean,
we have big breaking news, by the way. We have huge breaking news.
Jesse Jackson died.
Good morning. This is from Danny Boy. Per Ken Rosenthal, MLBPA Executive Director Tony Clark to resign.
Oh.
He's got a lot of shenanigans going on with Tony Clark.
Really?
A lot of shenanigans going on with Tony Clark. Yeah. I will text. Orestes just spent a lot of time with him out at the MLBPAA deal out in Colorado Springs a couple of weeks ago. And he said, yeah, there's investigations going on. So I don't know exactly what the nature of them are, but it was serious enough that he's going to have to resign. Now, this is a big deal because obviously with the labor situation coming to a head, whoever is going to be the new MLBPA president is going to obviously carry a lot of weight and be a very big factor in determining the outcome of where baseball goes in the next 20, 30 years. This labor agreement, they've kicked the can down the road multiple times on a salary cap and salary floor, and the owners are dead set to get this thing done this time. So this may signal a weakness in the union, which actually might work out best for baseball fans, because I sense there is and Big O will get mad at me about this, but there is with Tony Clark, there was an absolute refusal to even speak the word salary cap. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's off the table. We're not even going to talk about it. And that type of posture scares me, quite frankly. And of course, there was the dust up with Rob Manfred. There's a lot of ill feelings going on right now. And so whoever is chosen to lead this union, this is a big deal for baseball. And what at stake here is basically your 2027 season. Now, the bad thing is, the players may want to have someone that's even more stubborn than Tony Clark, which I think would be a bad thing for baseball. I think you need someone who's a little bit more of a centrist here when it comes to those major issues, who can find some consensus. But I doubt very seriously that's the way the union will go, because they think it will cost them money. I think there's a solution here, and it's a better solution for the players, the owners, and the fans. More parity, everything. And I think it's high time we get there. But this is a development that, quite frankly, could be a positive, could be a negative. It all depends on where it goes from here. So it's breaking news, and we'll kind of work through it as the day goes on.
Wow. So you've got a little bit of controversy in MLBPA, and you definitely have some controversy in the NFLPA. They fired their chief security officer, Craig Jones, on Friday with some unscrupulous personal behavioral matters.
What was that all about?
They haven't released what it was. He was put on administrative leave earlier in the month. I think he's butting heads with some higher ups, and he threatened to go public with some internal matters over something. So they have since relieved him of his duties.
There's a lot of shenanigans going on in sports right now.
Man, well, I'm here for it too.
Yeah, I mean, does it make it more interesting? I mean, the gambling stuff is bad, but it's not like people are going to stop gambling on sports because Daniel Clase is dirting 48 different pitches. We're all just like, why weren't we in on it? We're just pissed. We didn't know. We didn't see the trend.
Where was my call?
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're mad. But it does go to the credibility of the game. We're all talking about how the NFL is manipulating games because they set the game up, so that we will speculate. They're not transparent in the way they do reviews when they could be, but they're not. So it leaves everybody to speculate what the hell's going on in the NFL, and rightfully so. Until you're transparent, I think those questions are fairly asked.
Well, make no mistake. It's called the Major League Baseball Players Association and the National Football League Players Association. These are not associations. These are unions.
Yeah.
Unions are inherently dirty. I don't care what year it is or who you say you are. Unions are dirty, man. I don't care. So you're going to have some shady stuff going on. Yeah,
but at a time now that's critical, there's a lot going on behind the scenes for this to happen. So there's
timing's bad.
And I've heard some things like under the radar, not just from Big O, but other people that have dealt with the union and other players, former players, and they all know that there's some shady shiz going on. So this is not a shock to many people who are in the know, and a lot of some of this stuff has been public too. So we'll sort through that as we go through the morning as well. All right, quick break. We'll come back on the other side, and we will chat with Scott Reynolds of the Pewter Report and talk some Buccaneer football. We're brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. Giving away did they give away the diamond ring? I think they may have done that this weekend on Valentine's Day. I'll have to check up on that, but they're always giving away stuff over at Genesis of Tampa. And the one thing they do really give you is great value in cars. Genesis of Tampa. If you have not been up there to drive the GV70, the GV80, see the value of these luxury cars, you are missing something. They're absolutely incredible. They're the best on the market. Incredible durability. You can rely on these cars. They just don't break. And you get the best warranties as well. So check out GenesisofTampa.com. That is the website. See all the great cars there. Go by and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. Here for Pitch Roofing, one of our new sponsors and the most reliable and honest roofers in the business. They love the Lightning, and Bolts fans be entered to win a pair of premium Mark Club seats with every free roofing estimate from Pitch Roofing. Seats include food and beverages, early access, premium entry, and a backstage tour of Lightning Vision with yours truly. Always get 2 to 3 estimates when replacing your roof, and be sure to include Pitch as one of those roofing companies. With a free estimate from Pitch, they're not trying to hard sell you. They educate you on your roof and the process. Even if you do not choose Pitch Roofing as your roofer, they want to leave you feeling informed, knowing the different materials and manufacturers, and understanding the process and warranties. Very, very important. Pitch is an Owens Corning preferred contract, Better Business Bureau accredited, and MySafe Florida Home approved. That's very important as well. Pitch prides themselves on full transparency and customer first level of service. They also offer financing options, including 0% plans, ensuring a stress-free experience. Call my friends at Pitch Roofing, 727-67-PITCH. That's 727-677-4824, or go to pitchroofing.com.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
All right, guys, don't screw this up. It's Valentine's Day, and the first decision you make is go to the Gold and Diamond Source, where right now you can buy one, get one 40% off during their exclusive Valentine's promotion. Express your love with exquisite jewelry from the Gold and Diamond Source, where they have the largest selection of engagement rings. And here's where it gets really good. Starting on Friday at the Open, you can get a $1,000 gift card, and they will match it with another $1,000 gift card. Get $2,000 worth of spending power for just $1,000. Then at 6 o'clock, it goes down to $500. The $500 card match goes from 6 o'clock until close. So get in there on Friday up to 6 o'clock. It's a $1,000 gift card. They'll match it, giving you up to $2,000 in immediate spending power. Then after 6 o'clock, it's $500, and they'll match it and give you up to $1,000 in spending power. Don't miss it. It's Valentine's Day, and the only place to shop is at the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
It's the love you give only at Gold and Diamond Source.
Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. Riveters St. Pete opening soon, hopefully in time for Rays season over there, so you can stop by Riveters before the game, just like you did last year when you went to Steinbrenner and get all the great fresh food, all the happy hour specials, the micro brews, all of it there at riveterstampa.com. You go to the website and Riveters St. Pete soon. There you go. All right, let's welcome in the man, the myth, the face that runs the place at Pewter Report. He is the great Scott Reynolds. What's up, Scotty? How are you, partner?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Fantastic. Off season where Pewter Report shines so
Thank you.
bright. You
Thank you
guys
very
know
much.
it every year. You're already busy. You've been to the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Going to the Combine, right?
Yeah,
Beautiful,
going to the Combine
lovely
next week. Yeah, can't wait to
Indianapolis.
freeze my ass off in Indianapolis because it's like 60 degrees there right now. But when we get there, it's going to be like 30. So
Of course.
just like the Senior Bowl, we froze there too. I mean, it's, I love the weather here in Tampa now. And I wish it would just stay this way. It's perfect. But
Why don't they have the Senior Bowl?
the cold finds me. That's a good question. It's so loyal to Mobile, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that because it's fun to go up to Mobile and have some barbecue and get out of Tampa a little bit. It's always a good trip.
Yeah, yeah, sure. What'd you learn?
And the local economy really needs it there too. It's like a big event there, just like the Indianapolis needs, the Combine. I mean, it's not like Indy is a small city. It's not, but it's a big event there. So I'm glad that Indy continues to be the hub for the Combine.
Isn't there talk of moving that and rotating it, kind of like they started doing with the draft? And
yeah, there is, there's a contingency of folks in the NFL that would love to see it parked in Vegas.
Yeah,
it's just Vegas is so expensive. I mean, I'd love to go. Like the last time I went to Vegas was, I think, right after COVID, and everything was like dirt cheap because they were like trying to get people back. Now, from what I understand, Vegas is just like insanely expensive. So
I know Jerry's been campaigning to have it here in Dallas for years. You
Yeah.
know, he wants it here, but
Yeah.
can't get a Super Bowl. That's for damn sure.
can't win a Super Bowl. Can't
Get
get there
another
either.
one. Yeah.
Well, that Dallas ice thing didn't go well, Timmy.
Nope. I understand. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of Senior Bowl, we didn't really chat with you about what you learned there. So I know we're going back a little bit, but I have to catch up here.
Sure.
Because typically it's where the Bucs get a lot of their players.
They do.
And they draft a lot of players out of Senior Bowl. So what did we learn?
Really good linebackers in this draft class and really good edge defenders. So if you're a team like, I don't know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they could use some inside linebackers. They could use some outside linebackers. You're in luck because they're plentiful in this year's draft. And I really think it's three deep in terms of the rounds, in terms of where you can find starting caliber inside linebackers, starting caliber outside linebackers on day three, and you think about like really probably the best edge rusher that Jason Light has drafted. Yaya Diaby was a 3rd round pick who impressed at the Senior Bowl. And, he's say what you want about Yaya. He's better than Boye Mafe from the Seattle Seahawks, right? Just statistically speaking, and, PFF grades and all that stuff. And he's a really good, number 2 edge rusher, right? That I think if you put an alpha edge rusher, like a tier 1 guy opposite him, it's going to do. And I just remember growing up in Kansas City, you had Derek Thomas, like who was just that alpha Hall of Fame edge rusher. And they had Neil Smith opposite him. And Smith was good. I mean, he was a Pro Bowl caliber player, largely because he had a lot of those cleanup sacks, because you had Derek Thomas bringing the heat from the quarterback's blindside edge. And those guys are running right into Neil Smith. It wasn't like Smith couldn't get sacks on his own. He could, but he would get 6 or 7 sacks, from beating his guy throughout the season and doing that. But then he would, get 4 more just by being in position to catch those quarterbacks when
That's
Derek
right.
Thomas was chasing them down. So I think it's kind of the same thing. If Yaya Diaby can get that other guy that is better than him, that is going to put more pressure on him, then you're going to see Yaya get the 7 sacks he's able to get right on his own, and then get 3 more cleanup sacks, and everyone would think, oh my gosh, Yaya Diaby's this fantastic edge rusher. He's a 10-sack guy. Still going to be the same guy, but when you have a force multiplier on that defensive line, it's going to make everybody better.
Yeah. So I guess when you tell me there's that many good draft picks available, it means that Jason Light is really going to be holding on to his draft picks, so they ain't no chance.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think that the two names that are kind of bandied about, right, in terms of edge rushers, there's a contingency fans that would love to get Nick Herbig out of Pittsburgh. I just don't see a world where, like, if you're Pittsburgh, and I've had multiple NFL front office people tell me this, because I like Nick Herbig. I'd love to see him down here in Tampa. Don't get me wrong, but it's like they paid TJ Watt a ridiculous amount of money, like a lot of money, right? And that's a contract they're going to have for a couple of years as a result. But we saw TJ Watt miss some games last year, and the sack production, which was like 17 a couple of years ago, it fell down to 7 last year. Herbig actually had more sacks than he did, 7.5. And Herbig is on that rookie deal. So why in the world, if you're Pittsburgh, would you want to part ways with a really good pass rusher on a rookie deal? And
because it's balancing out Watt's deal.
Yeah, and not just that, it's great. It's a great insurance policy. What if TJ Watt continues to break down? The body breaks down. He's 31 years old. That seems to be right around the number where good pass rushers fall off the edge. I've seen it here in Tampa with Simeon Rice, Shaq Barrett, JPP. Between 30 and 32, it's just a cataclysmic fall off the cliff, like, and you're done. Like you're kind of cooked, and that's why you have to be careful with the Bradley Chubbs, who are going to be 30, the Trey Hendrickson, who's 31, right? We saw Hendrickson, go from 17.5 sacks to 4 sacks last year so maybe he might have had a little bit more, like 6 or something, but only played in like 4 games. Or I take that back. I think he had 4 sacks in 7 games. And then he missed the last 10 because of a serious pelvic hip injury that required core surgery.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a risky thing. Oh, and by the way, there was a guy named Hassan Reddick. I don't know if you remember that name.
Who?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
He got a sack in each of the Falcons games. So
where'd he play?
Yeah. He played like okay against, he was like Tampa Bay's version of Kirk Cousins. When Kirk Cousins played the Bucs, like he lit it up. When Hassan Reddick played the Falcons, like he was good. Yeah. But outside of a couple of games, line, and he missed time due to injury. So, at 31, he's done. Like he's lost a step, and he's just not that guy that he was as a double-digit sacker before. So, if you need edge rushers, there were some pretty good ones at the Senior Bowl. I think probably a lot of day 2 guys, second, third round guys. The edge guys, Akeem Mesidor, Ruben Bain, David Bailey, they skipped, which it was fine. I mean, they didn't have to do anything. I mean, at the Senior Bowl, like they're going to be
who he is,
first round picks, right? Yeah. Some higher than others.
Gone.
Yeah. But for linebackers, there was 2 linebackers that really, really stood out to me as great fits in Tampa Bay. Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech is absolutely
he's a baller.
Yep.
Just
won just about every linebacker award in college football.
Yeah. I mean, he's that guy. 7 forced fumbles last year. It was just ridiculous. I saw 2 firsthand, when he destroyed my alma mater, Kansas State, which
third in Heisman
really
voting,
fun to see.
I think he finished third in Heisman voting too.
3rd or 4th or 5th. Yeah, I mean, for a linebacker, that's pretty damn good. But 4 interceptions. He's really good in coverage, which I don't know if you guys noticed, but the Bucs needed a coverage linebacker. It's been bad the last couple
think he'll be there at 15?
Oh, yeah. He'll be there at 15. Will he be there at 40? That's kind of the question, right? Because when you look at Jacob Rodriguez, and I think he's going to surprise people a little bit. People kind of look at him and say, he's not that athletic. He was a 4-sport athlete in high school. He was recruited to Virginia as a quarterback. He kind of played a Taysom Hill role for a year. Then they moved him to defense that he transferred to Texas Tech, where he just became a tackling turnover machine. He is super smart. His football IQ and instincts are off the charts. He just knows where the play is going. Like he just
Yeah.
diagnoses, just reminds me cerebrally of Derek Brooks, Levante David. Just sniffs the ball, sniffs it out, knows where to go, does a good job of getting there. Pretty good missed tackle rate. I think it's around 10%. He's got shorter arms than you would like. But when you make 127 tackles one year and 128 the next, I mean, it kind of shows me you're a pretty consistent football player.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can blitz, he can cover, he can do anything Tampa Bay wants as a middle linebacker. And he's a leader, but he's not like that Hardy Nickerson, like fire and brimstone guy. He's more like a Derek Brooks, Levante David, kind of like lead by example and just show up and win plays. The other guy too, Kyle Lewis from Pittsburgh. This is the classic weak side linebacker in Todd Bowles' scheme. Todd calls it the Mo backer or the money backer. You have Mike and Mo. So both of those guys were just ball hawks in Mobile. And Kyle Lewis has the fluidity of a safety. Like he can cover backs and tight ends 30 yards down the field and get interceptions and break up passes. Like he's that elite of a coverage linebacker. And he's got a lot of tenacity. Problem is he's about, and we'll see at the combine, I think he's about 222, 224. And you think, gosh, that's a little small. I mean, if you go back and look at Derek Brooks coming out of Florida State, if you look at Levante David coming out of Nebraska, I mean, the Bucs have had a couple undersized linebackers that have been able to somehow manage to have good careers at that weight. And he's not going to get much bigger. Could he get to 230? Maybe. He probably could. But he's
a weak side backer, I don't think you need that.
I don't think you need it.
No.
He's not afraid of contact, right?
No.
There are some plays he's going to be engulfed. He has a hard time stacking and shedding at times, but he has to, like Derek Brooks, like Levante David, get to the point of attack before the guard or tackle does. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And win with his speed and instincts. He's a pretty good player. So I think Jacob Rodriguez probably a second round pick. And I think Kyle Lewis, a third round pick. He was a fourth rounder coming in. I think now he is solid as a number 3, just because you need a coverage linebacker in this day and age in the NFL. The downhill linebackers, they're kind of dinosaurs, the KJ Britt types. Yeah. And Lord knows Tampa Bay could use a couple of interceptions from the linebacker position.
Oh, that would be nice. The middle of the field would covering even a portion of it would be
it's
nice.
like 7-Eleven. It's always open.
It's
right?
all,
I mean, and
it's great wide open.
Yeah, it is.
Wide open.
So I think those are two guys that are on the Bucs radar. They should be on the Bucs radar. And there's others too that weren't there, like Josiah Trotter from Missouri, Jake Golday from Cincinnati. There's going to CJ Allen from Georgia wasn't there either, but he's a player that is going to get first or second round consideration. I would just say this too. It's like, when you look at Jihad Campbell getting drafted, I want to say it was 31 last year or 30 by Philadelphia. And then you had Carson Schlesinger at 33 get drafted by the Browns, and really good player out of UCLA, won the Defensive Rookie of the Year honors. If you look at the resume of Jacob Rodriguez and stack it against either Campbell or Schlesinger,
way better.
It's way better. So, I mean, if there's a world where the Buccaneers trade down, acquire more, like an extra third round pick or a second round pick or whatever the ransom would be, trade down into the lower 20s and get this guy like around 25, I would be fine if they drafted Jacob Rodriguez in the lower part of the first round.
And then you get more
draft
picks.
capital.
Yeah, you get more picks for those guys you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's where I was going with that in terms of everybody wanting to see Max Crosby. Everybody wants to see Max Crosby here. Yeah. But, you're going to be giving up all those picks. So you would be trading not, one guy. You'd be trading for one guy. You'd be trading those 3 or 4 guys that you probably would be able to draft to get one. He's a pretty damn good one. And we need someone like that to change the attitude and everything. But where the Bucs are right now, they need so many players in that front 7, right? Yeah. I don't think you can do that.
Here's the thing with Max Crosby. Could it work? Yeah, it could work. But there's a couple of considerations, and give me just about 2 minutes to kind of explain this.
No, go.
Number one is, all right, you sit there and say on the surface, okay, the automatic is you're going to give up the first round pick this year. Fine. You need an edge rusher anyways. Why not trade your number 1 pick for a guy that's already a proven commodity, been there, done that, gone to the Pro Bowls, who's an alpha, great teammate, leader, everything you want, die hard, Energizer Bunny. That's fine on the surface. You spend your first round draft pick on Max Crosby, massive win. But we know it's going to cost more in terms of draft collateral, draft capital to get Crosby. Now you're talking I'm sure the Raiders probably would love to have next year's first round pick too.
Right.
Okay. Now, now you weigh, okay, well, what are our needs going to be next year? Right. And we're not going to have a first round pick. Look what the Falcons did in trading for James Pierce. It looked okay this year until all hell broke loose with the cops, right?
For the reason that he was off the Bucs board, right?
Exactly. Yep. But now they're not going to have James Pierce this year. They're 10.5 sack rookie. They're not going to have him, and they're not going to have the first round pick that they used to trade up in the
that's a killer
in the first round to get this year, which ended up being the 13th pick overall.
Yeah.
Right. So
killer.
So you got the 26th player in the draft last year, James Pierce, but it cost you the 13th pick this year. It's horrible value, especially when you're not going to have the player because he's probably going to be in jail, right?
Yeah.
So you have to consider that. The other thing to consider is the Buccaneers have about $50 million in cash to spend. There are websites, little tools that you can use, like where you can play GM and you can go in and restructure contracts and create cap room and then sign Trey Hendrickson and Devin Lloyd and, James Franklin Myers, all these players, right? You can build your Madden roster, right? With these cap tools, these general manager machines online. The problem is it's just not realistic because the Bucs, if Mike Greenberg wanted to create $100 million in cap room, he could do it easy.
Yeah.
But he's not going to. He's not going to touch the contract of Vita Vea because Vita's 31 now. He's in a contract year. Because when you restructure that or anybody's deal, you have to add on more years to create the cap room because you're kicking the can down the road.
Right, yeah.
You don't do that with Vita Vea. Vita Vea's production declined last year. He's 31. What if he misses half the season and ends up with 2 sacks and he has some major injury? Do you want to be tied to a 32-year-old Vita Vea? Again, at some point in time, great defensive linemen fall off a cliff production-wise. Father Time is undefeated in the NFL, right?
Unless you're in Ndamukong Suh and Calais Campbell. Those are the only two I've seen be able to,
Even then, 2021 was his last year. It just was. He played, I think, a couple games for Philly, but, he was done. So, having said that, you don't mind talking to Vita Vea after this year. Let him play out his contract year, see where he is physically, see where he is worth of production, wise. Maybe you sign him to another 1-year deal or a 2-year deal, but you don't do that blindly heading into a contract year, right? So you don't want to touch his deal. You don't want to touch Chris Godwin's deal. You're paying him $22 million this year. Is he a 1,000-yard receiver? If he is, okay, he's worth it. If he's a 600-yard receiver, he's not worth it. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be 31. So you're going to move on from Chris Godwin this year if he's not that guy. You don't want to extend that contract. Baker Mayfield. Baker, I'm sure, probably wants to play his contract year because he's thinking, I got Zach Robinson. Right now I'm worth $50 million. If the Bucs cut him tomorrow, he is out getting $50 million plus in free agency. Whether you like Baker or not, whether you think he's worth it or not, Baker Mayfield right now,
that's the truth,
gets $50 million at least.
Daniel Jones is going to make 40.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
having you said that, Baker's worth 50? Right.
If Baker has another year like he did in 2024 in the Rams-based offense that Liam Cohen brought in that Zach Robinson's going to install. If he has that type of year, 41 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, 71.4% completion percentage, he's going to be around $60 million because he's going to say, I'm as good, if not better than Dak Prescott. Dak's getting 60. And you're going to see that's the new hurdle because the Cowboys screwed it up. Instead of giving Dak like 55 or 57, they're like, oh, boom, he's our $60 million man. Created this huge chasm, right? Where instead of doing the leapfrog, they did like the hopscotch jump and like jumped way ahead.
Way to go, Jerry.
Exactly. Thanks, Jerry.
It's what we do here in Dallas. We go big.
Tim shaking his head. He's like, yeah, I know. So you're going to see
the trophy case
within the next 2 years. Every new quarterback deal is going to be close to, or if you're a good one, if you're elite, if you're a Matt Stafford, whatever, you're going to be in the $60 million range, right? So you're not going to touch Baker. You're not going to touch Zion McCollum because the same thing. You got to see if he's worth the money or not, right? So the only contracts you can restructure are Tristan Wirfs, Luke Edeke, and Antoine Winfield Jr. Those are the only 3, and you can only create $50 million in cap space.
Yeah.
So all of these, pie in the sky, we can create $100 million worth of cap room. First of all, the Buccaneers only have a $50 million cash budget.
Yeah.
Because they already have $250 million of spent money. And so
cap's going up too.
Right. It's going up to like between 300 and
Right.
305 million. And this factors in that.
Okay.
So this factors in, so that even with the increase, they have about 50 million to spend in cash. Okay. And the Blazers will spend up to the cap. They're not being cheap.
Well, they didn't last year. They didn't last year, and they can use some of that money over.
Yeah. There's a cap.
I think
roll
about
over, right.
8 or 9 million.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like, that's kind of around $50 million is what they have to spend. And so when you think about it from a cash standpoint, you trade for Max Crosby, that's $30 million
right there,
because he on his contract is $30 million. Now, will the cap hit be 30? No. Greenberg can sit there and restructure and add another year or two, whatever. But it doesn't matter. The Blazers have to write a check for $30 million to Max Crosby because you don't disappear the cash money. You disappear part of the cap room to help you out. But the Bucs don't have that problem. They can create $50 million with 3 restructures, right? So it's the cash. If you want to pay Mike Evans $20 million this year to re-sign him, you can do a 2-year deal and you can drop Evans's cap value to just $10 million this year. Doesn't matter. The cap doesn't matter. It's the cash. The Blazers are going to write a check to Mike Evans this year for $20 million. So there's 30 million and 20 million. That's 50 million. You're done in free agency. Yep. There's no linebackers. There's no free agent safety or corners that you're bringing in, right? There's no defensive tackle help, right? You're not going to re-sign Logan Hall. You can't re-sign Cade Otton. You can't go get Tyler Algier. So that's what I'm saying. Max Crosby, can you do it? Yes, you can. But it's going to severely limit what you can do unless, and here's the last part of the puzzle, unless you get rid of another big salary. In other words, a check that Blazers will have to write. We're talking like $19.5 million for Anton Winfield Jr., $22 million for Chris Godwin, right? If you want to trade one of those players to the Raiders, then there'll be a cash offset. Because right now, let's just say, because I can't do math really well, me no good in math, okay? So let's say Winfield is like $20 million, all right, worth of cash. And he's already factored in the books. So he's already like on the ledger, right? And then if you got rid of him, you're saving 20 million. So then if you add Max Crosby, it's only a differential of $10 million. So you've essentially created $20 more million to spend. So now you're not as hamstrung.
Right.
Now, instead of having just $20 million, you have $40 million to spend. You can get Mike Evans, and you still have some money to get some linebackers and get a corner and get a defensive tackle for depth. So any trade for Max Crosby, in my opinion, would have to include another player making $20 million plus, because that's the best way it could work without starving and suffocating what this team needs to do in free agency, which is add some more depth and bodies, right?
Yeah, a lot more bodies.
Like you're losing Jamel Dean, so you need another corner to replace him. You might not bring Kendall Vildor back. You're going to have another cornerback to replace him. You have 2 linebackers on the roster. You don't re-sign Levante David or Anthony Walker Jr. or or Deion Jones, and I'm not saying to sign any of them really, but you need more linebackers. You need like at least 1 or 2 in free agency, and then you draft 1 or 2, and then you have a linebacker room. So can they do Max Crosby? Yes, but it probably would come at a cost, because right now the Buccaneers have 7 players making $20 million or more in terms of cap value. 7. Yeah. You know how many the Seattle Seahawks had last year winning a Super Bowl? 2. Yeah. And I want to say the Rams and the 49ers have 3. So the real crime in all of this is the Buccaneers actually are a very expensive team. Yeah. They're very top heavy with their salaries. And a lot of these guys are worth the money, right? I mean, Tristan Wirf's worth every penny. Winfield,
probably about to get more top heavy.
Yes, because if you add Mike Evans, that number goes up to 7, right? Yeah. It goes back to 7. Yeah. If you add Max Crosby without doing any of these moves, it's 8. Yeah. Yaya Diaby next year is going to be making around $20 million. That's 9. Baker, his cap value is going to go from 40 to 50 million. That's 10 more million dollars, right? So this is a very top-heavy football team right now that should be winning more than 8 friggin' games.
Yeah.
Because
what's that all about?
The amount of money they have in these players. You can say what you want. Like Luke Gedeke, he's not worth $20 million. cut
Yeah,
loose
he
tomorrow.
is.
He's getting 20 million like
Yeah, he is.
that, if not
Yep.
more.
Yeah.
Is Zion worth 16? No, he's not. Like, that was a mistake, right? But if you look at a lot of the highest paid Buccaneer players, and if you were to cut them today, they're going to be getting exactly what they are getting right now from the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers did not overpay for these guys. They legitimately paid market value at the time, and that's what these players are worth.
You know, I was just looked up what the Patriots did in the last.
And I think the
offseason.
exception is Chris Godwin, right?
Yeah.
Just because, and that's one thing. Jason even said, we're re-signing Chris Godwin not for 2025 because we know there is still a rehab factor going on. We're re-signing Chris Godwin for 2026, and this is the make or break year for Chris Godwin, where he has to show as a 1,000-yard receiver or damn close, like he better have like 900 yards and 6 touchdowns to justify how much he's getting paid. Otherwise, the Buccaneers will have to move on from him.
Agreed. Yeah, I was gonna say the Patriots last offseason and all these guys. I don't have the number, the cost, but I think they were all very on very team friendly deals. Harold Landry, Milton Williams, Spillane, Morgan Moses, Tongo, Bradbury, Carlton Davis, and all these aren't great players, but they're really good players, and they got a bunch of them at the mid levels instead of being top heavy at the 20 million, and they remade their entire team.
Yeah,
and this is kind of
you mentioned the Patriots for this year, because I can't see last year because they've updated the numbers. But for this year, the Patriots only have 4 players making $20 million or more in terms of cap value: Milton Williams, Stephon Diggs, Michael Onwenu, and Carlton Davis. Those are the only 4 players they have making $20 million or more, right? And they still have a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. He's making less than $10 million this year, right? And so that's huge.
a big part of it,
Well, and the key to those Patriots players too, in any situation when that works, when you get those, like no-name guys that come in and are effective, they're coached really well too.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too
that matters.
And we've had a lot of our pewter people that watch the podcast and read our content at pewterreport.com. They're ripping the fact that Todd Bowles didn't bring in like a bunch of new coaches, right? He replaced
new voices. Yeah,
new voices. Yeah, he replaced Nick Rapone, the safeties coach, with Tim Atkins, someone who has been started off as a quality control coach with him at the Jets.
Yeah,
and has kind of been the assistant.
Yes, men.
Yes,
man.
Like
to call it. Yes, men.
Same thing. Rashad Johnson, who has been the nickel backs coach in Tampa, worked with Kevin Ross.
Yes, sir.
He's replacing Kevin Ross.
I got the company line right here.
Exactly.
No.
Here's the thing, JP. I don't care about that because Todd Bowles thinks he has all the answers anyways. So you could bring in, say, I don't know, like a Charlie Strong or a new voice that has a lot of experience. He's not going to listen to him anyways because he thinks he has all the answers. Okay.
That's right.
Guess what, Todd? This is the year to do it. This is the year to show everybody you're the defensive mastermind and the guru and the genius. But what I like about these moves is instead of a 65-year-old Charlie Strong, instead of a 3 or 4-year-old Kevin Ross, instead of a 69-year-old Nick Rapone, you're getting guys in Marcus West and Rashad Johnson and Tim Atkins in their early 40s that have a lot more energy, they're a lot more hands-on in terms of their coaching ability, because sometimes you got to show the players the technique that you want them to use, hands-on. And these guys have the youthfulness, the vigor, the energy to do that. So if only all they do is simply develop the guys in their room, unlock Zion McCollum, get him to be the cornerback that this team thinks that he is, get Benjamin Morrison developed quickly, rapidly into a starting caliber corner, take Jacob Parrish's game to the next level as a nickel, and find the fountain of youth for Vita Vea, for Marcus West, and take Elijah Roberts and really develop him in year 2 and get Kalijah Kancey back on track. Take Tyke Smith in the safeties room to a Pro Bowl level, get Antoine Winfield Jr. back to making as many plays as possible, developing J.J. Roberts, right, the guy who was showing a lot of promise last year before tearing his ACL.
They're still in the same scheme, Scott, and I know
they're in the same scheme, and those guys aren't going to be able to change that. But if they can develop these players and get them to play better, and talk to Rondé Barber about it. Herm Edwards and Rondé Barber were down here in the same Monty Kiffin scheme, which didn't change, right? And then when he heard a different voice pushing Rondé in a different way, teaching Rondé some different techniques, and I'm not knocking Herm Edwards. This is coming from Rondé Barber.
Yeah.
This was Rondé under Herm Edwards. This was Rondé under Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
A Pro Bowl Hall of Fame cornerback. Coaching matters. Yeah. And if all these guys do this year, is just get these individual players to understand the system better and play faster and develop their instincts and hone them, then I think that can be a win. And then we'll see, this is the sink or swim year for Todd Bowles. If the defense isn't fixed, the Blazers have to move on. And if they don't, they're just not going to have a fan base.
Well, and I'll say the same thing about the Bucs going into this offseason that I've said about the Cowboys before this offseason, because I think they've made some decent changes. But you hope is not an offseason strategy.
That's right.
That's what the Cowboys have been doing, and it seems like that's what the Bucs have gone into the offseason with, is just a bunch of hope, you know, and it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't, and I think the interesting thing, and this is one of the potential Marvel multiverse universes that exist, right? Because we've seen it happen before. What if Zach Robinson comes to Tampa Bay with a much better offensive line, with a much better group of wide receivers? He had Drake London and a bunch of other guys in Atlanta. If you bring Mike back, Mike, J-Mac, Emeka, Chris, Tez, like that's an embarrassment of riches, a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Bucky Irving is no slouch. You bring in another running back, Tyler Algier, maybe. You have a 1-2 punch, Sean Tucker. You have a better quarterback. Baker Mayfield's better than Michael Penix Jr. He's better than Kirk Cousins at the age 37. So all of those things, if Zach Robinson has a 2024-like season that Liam Cohen did, where this offense is averaging between 28 to 30 points per game, Baker's a Pro Bowl quarterback again, right? The offense is lighting it up. He is going to be, with his looks, his charisma, he's got 3 years of play calling experience in the NFL now. He's going to be a hot commodity in the coaching scene next year. And if the Blazers didn't learn from their mistake the first time and keeping Bowles over Liam Cohen, because I think in hindsight, you're a fool if you don't think that it was Liam Cohen's offense that got the Buccaneers 10 wins in the division title. It just was. Go back and look at every freaking game. Yeah. But they want to keep their guy in Todd Bowles, and if they make the same mistake and let another good offensive coordinator leave the building without making him head coach, God help this franchise, man. God help them, because there are going to be some half-filled Ray J.
Well, listen, it would be half-filled this year if these sweet owners didn't have 3-year contracts that they can't get out of.
Yeah,
because trust me, tons of them want to, they can't. Yeah. And the organization, maybe they know that. Maybe they know that. Say, what, if we don't have to fire Todd because they're all locked in anyway. Yeah. It's a bad look. It's a bad look.
I think there's a path where this team can still show a lot of improvement this year and win the division, and still may cost Todd Bowles his job, right? Yeah. If this team, again, has the lopsided DNA where the offense is wearing the superhero cape every week and carrying this team across the finish line with wins, and the defense, is still in the 20s or maybe the teens, but not the top 10 unit it should be with the talent and all of that. And if Todd's holding this team back, if they go in and they lose another home playoff game, and Zach Robinson's a legit head coaching candidate as a result,
well, you better sign him before the season's over. That's all I'm saying. Don't let him go to Jacksonville or some other place.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's like
thinking you're going to get a right of first refusal. You're not.
Yeah, the Buccaneers don't have to just collapse and go from 8 wins to 6, and that's not the only way where Todd Bowles is done. It could be just missing. Or not going far enough in the playoffs.
I thought that last year, and I think you did too, and it didn't happen.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
2 years in a row, maybe.
2 years in a row, it's a lot more damning, right?
Yeah.
Especially with what transpired in Jacksonville. We'll see what Liam Cohen does.
Well, we can look around the league and see that any other owner would have fired Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
And not just that.
That's just a fact.
You have a first-year head coach in New England, right? I mean, he got the Titans to the postseason multiple times in Tennessee, but in 1 year, look what Vrabel did. In 2 years, look what Mike McDonald did.
In 1 year, look what Liam did.
I know, 13 wins. The Buccaneers, it's kind of funny, right? The Buccaneers had one 13-win season in their 50 years, and Liam Cohen doesn't take a single Buccaneer coach with him, goes to Jacksonville with an entire new staff, and wins 13 games. And say what you want, the AFC South is slightly better actually than the NFC South. So
well, you did forget when talking about the new coaches, you did forget the key hire, Todd Bowles Jr.
Oh, well,
Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind that because he is a low level assistant.
I know.
This
and
is
he's
not
a great kid.
Lovey.
He's an outstanding kid and maybe a great head coach one day himself. It's just a bad look. Trust me. From the guy who went through the Bobby Bowden, Jeff Bowden nepotism disaster, it never works. Don't hire your children. Don't work with your children.
I'm just going to say it worked out okay for Kyle Shanahan when Mike Shanahan had him on his staff in Washington. I'm just saying, I don't think it's the end of the world. If he had said, "Hey, Todd Jr., you're going to be in charge of the safeties room because you played safety at Long Island and Rutgers," I mean, that's a different story. He's going to be assisting Tim Atkins in the safety room, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Weird. It was weird timing.
It is,
but it's not though, because how long has Todd Bowles got in Tampa? One more year, so you might as well use it and get your kid in the door so he can have some NFL coaching.
As I said the other day, Todd Bowles has been in this league for a gazillion years.
Yeah.
You couldn't pick up the phone and get his son a job somewhere. Come on.
Probably,
dude.
But this is automatic. And you get to work with your son. And maybe your last year in coaching in the NFL, you get to work with your son. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm
all
okay.
right. I mean, from a dad level, yeah, I'm okay with it, but timing not great. And it's just
the optics aren't great. Trust me. You've
out.
Seen it on your show. We've seen it on our website and all that too. It's not pleasing the fans. That's not the coach that they wanted to see get hired. I get that. But I'm just saying I'm okay with that. I'm a dad.
It ain't the end of the world. Just a bad look.
Yep.
All right, Scotty, tell everybody how they get your fantastic content. What's coming up this week with the Combine?
Yeah, well, we're heading out to Indy next Monday after our podcast. And then Tuesday, Jason Light and Todd Bowles will be having their press conferences live in Indy. We're going to have the reaction to that next week. Plus, we're going to
Jason Light speaks?
He does. He
All
will.
right.
We'll see. We'll see.
Where you been?
So we're going to have both of those gentlemen speaking, and we'll have the live reaction to that on our podcast. That's next week. We'll be filming episodes live in Indy, but we still have some great content this week. So make sure you check out Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. You can find the Pewter Report podcast. I'll have a Pewter Pulse video up later today. You can also read our stories and all of our Combine coverage, pewterreport.com, and make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Pewter Report.
All right, partner. Always great to see you.
You too, fellas. Take care.
We'll see you soon.
All right.
Thanks, partner.
We'll see you.
All right, quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We will get into a little bit more of this Tony Clark thing, what's going on with that. I want to talk some Olympics as well. USF men's basketball has a huge game on Thursday. We need you guys to get ready to go to that, so we're going to start pumping that up as well. Lots more to get to here on the JP Peterson Show. And, of course, your pithy and brilliant comments. I've been reading them all, and we will read them to the masses right after this. Take a quick break. Stay with us. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salsicce salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Sunny days or stormy nights, roofing problems out of sight. In Florida we stand so tall, pitch roofing, we do it all. Pitch roofing, roofing done right, for your home, day and night. When the hurricanes roll in, we've got the top that's gonna win. Protect your house from wind and rain. Choose pitch roofing, never in vain. Pitch roofing, roofing done right, for your home, day and night. Call us now for peace of mind. Top service you'll ever find. Pitch roofing won't let you fall. We're the best, just make that call. Pitch roofing, roofing done right, for your home, day and night.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Oh, now that's a ditty right there. That's what we love to see. Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Pitch Roofing. Don't forget, if you get a free, and I do mean free, estimate from Pitch Roofing, and why wouldn't you? If you need any repairs or need a new roof, they will put you in the running for 2 of those great all-inclusive seats in the Mark, where you get free food and bevies, liquor, wine, beer, the whole. That's where you take a date, Timmy, right there to the Mark. Take her to the Mark. And I will throw in a backstage tour right there of Lightning Vision. So make sure you get your estimate from Pitch Roofing and tell them that JP Peterson and Timmy sent you.
Yes.
And we don't do roofing work, but they do.
Yeah.
You imagine doing roofing work?
Yes, I did it. I did it for 2 summers in high school in the heat of Texas.
Yeah. And that said, I want to go into sports radio.
Yeah, that said, I don't want to work outside anymore. I'm done. I'm 16 and I'm done.
I was a laborer. I remember they told me I was going to be making $5 an hour. I could not be more excited. $5 an hour to be in that brutal work on a construction site. Just general labor. Yeah, go pick up that pile of concrete there and move it over there.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I get a front loader? No. Here's a pair of gloves.
Here's your front loader.
Oh, jeez.
You freeloader.
I'm like, Mom, I'm definitely going to college. Back when, college actually led to something.
When it meant something. Yeah.
When it meant something. You could get a marketable skill. Good luck now. I'm going to borrow $250,000 to go party for 5 years and then complain about having to pay it back. Yep. Whoops. We know what you were doing. No, I was going to college. We know what you were doing. Yeah, you financed the 5-year party and now you don't want to pay it back. Get out of here. No, but some of you did. Some of you had the student loans in there. I just can't imagine. Like, I could have taken student loans, but I said, I think I can work while I go to school and pay it off as I go. That's probably, but let's be honest. I didn't go to some private school. It cost $50,000. But again, I wouldn't have borrowed $50,000 a year to go to a college. Like, How am I going to pay that back? Am I going to get a job that's going to be worth that much money to pay back? Going to be tough. So anyway, don't go to college. Scam. It is a total scam now. I listened to Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban was talking about AI, and then Elon Musk as well. Listened to 2 interviews, and they're both like, well, if you sit at a computer and you work inside, your job is going to be gone. I would go find a marketable skill where you can, in terms of be a plumber, an electrician, drywall, anything that builds, welding, anything that builds, you will be well compensated, and those are the new great jobs. Middle management, sales, all that stuff. Oof. Good luck.
Yeah, I have a very good friend that's a master electrician and owns his own electrical company. And a few years ago, a few years ago, my son was 18, just out of high school, didn't really know what he wanted to do, kind of still working he'd been at Sonic for like 3 years at this point, and my buddy Jeff said, hey man, I'm thinking about bringing on like an apprentice. Do you think Zach would be interested in becoming an electrician apprentice? I'll teach him the business, bring him on and all, like, for free. I mean, I'll pay him to work.
Jesus.
But what a great opportunity. And I was like, holy crap. Yeah. So I sat Zach down. I'm like, hey man, there's a really good opportunity. He's like, yeah, I don't think so. I'm like, no. Let me explain to you how much electricians make. Blah, blah. And dude, I went into the whole thing. I said, look, and he's offering to train you. Like, this is the chance of a career lifetime. If you think you can see yourself. He's like, no. He's tell him thank you. He goes, I don't think I can see myself doing that. So I was like, all right, it's your choice. I'm not gonna make the decision for you. And like a week later, I went back and I'm like, are you sure? Because I don't think you understand. He's like, no. And I'll tell you why. I don't really know what electricians do.
Perhaps you should research it.
I said, dude, if that's the reason that you don't want to, I get being afraid of electricity. I'm kind of afraid of electricity too, right? Like, I don't think I could be an electrician, but he's too young and stupid to be afraid of electricity. So he can't use that argument, but I mean, whatever. He's in management with Starbucks now. That was like 5 years ago. He's doing fine. They're paying for his education, JP, Arizona State University.
That's good. That's good. If you're making, I don't know how long that job's going to exist.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah. I fear for my son. He works for IBM, and they're letting people go right and left because their jobs are being done by, everything's automated.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that's the way of the world right now. But, and also I think we have unfairly, I don't want to say demonize those labor intensive jobs, but we tend to not, you didn't go to college, and here's the other thing. You learn the electrician job, and guess what? You can own your own electrician company. One of my good friends is Kevin Edmondson, and he's incredibly rich, and he's not out there pulling wires, and incredibly charitable, by the way. Thank you very much for the Rascal Flatts tickets. And he supports, all kinds of Tampa Bay sports clubs, all kinds of charities. and a great man. And that's how you started off. Any one of probably 80% of the things they're teaching you in colleges and jobs that you would normally get are going to be obsolete.
Yep.
So
including ours.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know. Everybody says that about their job. It's like, I don't know about that. There's something like what creativity, even though, they're making movies and everything else with AI now.
Fake actors, yeah.
Yeah, which I think the union at some point is going to be like, no, you can't use AI. You can't do that. There's got to be some laws against that. And, as we're talking about this, and it kind of relates to sports, Mike Evans' agent had to put out a post about, hey, don't believe these scams that you see, these AI scams that you see on Instagram and Facebook with Mike's picture and some quote below it.
Yeah.
But there was one a couple weeks ago. And as soon as I read it, I was like, that's not Mike. Mike never said that. But it looks great. And you go down, there's 250 comments, and people are like, oh, don't leave them. It's like, he didn't say that.
And the common fan doesn't know better.
No. And I don't know how you get a hold of that or punish these people, because these are AI-driven, nameless, faceless corporations that start these faceless channels and these faceless accounts. And they get a shit ton of traffic because it's all great. It's clickbait.
And traffic.
And people are like, oh, did you see what Mike Evans said? Oh, did you see what Sidney Crosby said? Oh, and you go and you find these posts and it's the same quote with different pictures. And they get around the slander because they don't say the person's name, but they put the picture.
Yep.
But we got to, I don't know how long it's going to take for the laws to catch up with these guys. But even if you catch up with them, and they've made, over the last year, they've made, $1 million because of all their views and posts. They just disband the company. Who are you gonna punish? There's nobody left to punish.
Nobody.
So then they just keep creating new companies, new things, and they stay one step ahead of the law. And we see press conferences with guys. I mean, sometimes I'm like, until they get completely ridiculous, you go, oh, that's fake. But for the first 30 seconds, you might be drawn in. And if they stop making them completely fake, then you really got problems, because it's like, it's tough.
Yep.
As Ashley likes to say, college is a scam. Yeah. Those student loans ain't.
No.
But there are
those.
I mean, there are a lot of obviously legitimate people who needed the loans to get through college, and I get that. But I think a lot of people at that age are like, oh, you're going to give me $40,000 this year and I can pay for my room and board and beer. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on too. All right, to the comments we go. Hello to all you regulars out there like Nathan Elliott and Bucks Basement and JS813. Who says, when the MLB commissioner, governor, and mayor all support a stadium deal, I'm optimistic about said stadium deal. Yeah, we've never had that before. Brad Phillips last played for the Angels in 23. 39 games with the Rays in 2022.
I knew it was recent.
Yeah. Good morning to Belle. She still has her bow picture there. Looks like Valentine's Day went well. So, good morning, support group. Hope you all had a great Valentine's weekend. Much love to all the Petermans. Thank you. Also, if you haven't seen it, there's a Caps Off podcast with Levante David. Very, very good interview. Check it out. I saw it this morning. Okay, we will do that.
Yeah, I saw that. It is very good. Yep.
Jeremy Lowe, good morning to you. Said, I enjoyed the Fan Fest. The charity yard sale was nice. Shout out to the Rays organization making Toddler's Day fun. There you go. Remember the yard sale that the former regime had? It was a disaster. They pissed off all the fans because they let the first, because they had thousands of people lined up, and they were supposed to only get two things as they went through two or three things. They were supposed to be, and they didn't have enough people to monitor it, so people just started shelving everything. And by the time most of the people who had waited 2 hours got in there was nothing left.
Ouch.
Because they didn't staff it well enough or enforce it. Because people are going to do that. You got to make sure you have people in there that are going to.
Well, you got to pay people to be there, JP.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, like Chris Lotvilla put out a reposted something this morning on X, and this was a post said the Dodgers invest over 70% of their revenue back into the team. The Marlins invest less than 30% of their revenue back into the team. The Dodgers aren't the problem. Ownership who pockets 70% of the revenues are. That's interesting because that's from Nick Wise from WDAE. Why didn't you mention Stu Sternberg, Nick? Because he did the same thing. By the way, there was a comment from WDAE that they're going on to a much bigger signal, which was something we all talked about 10 years ago, that 95.7 signal that they've had Spanish music on for forever. Wasn't some brainchild of a current host. We talked about that many years ago.
They're changing their lineup and everything too.
Well, the idea is, it's like, they're selling it as, we're doing so great that now we get an FM signal. No, the fact is that nobody listens to music on FM signals anymore. You guys are still 19th in the ratings. Will it help? I don't know, maybe, but I think it would be better to get better hosts, but that's just me. Have some, they did. They put Nick Wise has a show now. At least they're going noon to 2. They're going local.
I saw on something they published on social media.
I'm not going to be a total dick about it because that's a good thing to have more local shows.
They had their lineup published, and of course Cowherd was still in there, I guess, the morning show, then Cowherd, and then somebody, and then whatever the late show was, it said to be announced later. And I was thinking, JP Peterson Show, a reunion.
Yeah, that ain't happening. I was hoping that they'd go out, like spend some money on, somebody who's actually played the game in this area. Yeah. Like most of the sports radio stations do, they go out and find an ex-athlete that they actually have to pay some real money instead of a producer for the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and get somebody to, that has a name or done something, but then you'd have to pay them.
It's not just broadcasting school.
Just saying, like most of the great hosts of they've run a team. They've anchored on television for 20 years, or they've been a columnist. We used to have Rick and Tom that were, local columnists who had been doing that for a long, long time. They've done other things besides, be a producer at a station. Just saying.
Overnight board op, turn producer.
I mean, you could have those guys. They're great, but you need to sprinkle in some people who have actually done something, I would think. Like Chris Thomas was an anchor at News Channel 8. Yeah, I was an anchor at News Channel 8. We'd had done some stuff.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's how we're building fan stream sports.
Well, that'll piss him off.
It's amazing.
I love Aaron, though. Aaron's great. He's a great dude.
I can't wait to see Tampa's next book.
I don't know
Nick's book.
Well, I mean, last time I checked, they were 19th or 20th and have been forever. So I don't know. But I guess in their demo they do okay. Some of them.
We'll see.
I mean, nobody's listening to FM radio anymore. So I know we're trying to pitch that, sports radio is doing so great. No, it's because nobody listens to music anymore on FM radio. Everything is on, everybody's streaming. They can't listen to you're the only one. But you don't listen to the commercials. You just flip around.
No, I do.
And even when you flip around, like you try this, go on your radio and just start hitting your presets and see how often you just run into commercials. It's all commercials. Watching the Olympics, it's nothing but fucking commercials. Good God. If I see one more Wogovi or whatever commercial, I'm going to shoot myself. Side effects are death. Yeah. I mean, it's terrible. It's like you get about 6 seconds of competition and then 12 minutes of big pharma ads. That's my Olympics.
Yeah, that's all it is. Or they're advertising. Or the latest thing that I'm tired of already is ESPN promoting their Super Bowl or first Super Bowl broadcast next year. I'm like, we just had the Super Bowl. And they're already the day after the Super Bowl, JP, ESPN's running these big ads about our first Super Bowl broadcast next year, Super Bowl 61. And of course, it's got all the things that Disney owns, right? Like Star Wars, and Disney stuff and the, you know, Marvel and all that. It's all, I'm already tired of the Super Bowl next year.
That's right. So ESPN will have their first Super Bowl next year.
Yeah.
Good. And I haven't seen those ads, and now you got to watch it.
It's going to be Joe and Troy, which will be great. I mean, they'll be a great tandem calling the game. I don't have a problem with that. It's just like we got to watch these freaking Super Bowl commercials for a year now.
Does anybody care who does the Super Bowl?
With Buzz Lightyear going up telling Woody, I want to go to a Super Bowl. I mean, oh my God. Shoot me now.
Like, but do you care? It's like, ooh, Fox has the Super Bowl this year.
I don't care.
I don't give a rip. That's who's doing the Super Bowl.
Look,
Except
I like
now with
much-
ESPN doing it, it's going to be unsufferable. Are you kidding? Oh, it's already unsufferable. I haven't even seen them. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be. So I'm guessing Stephen A. Smith's going to sit down with Trump.
Oh, geez.
That ought to be good.
They'll be in the suite together.
Oh my God, that'll be fantastic. Actually, yeah. I trust Stephen A. to do a better job than some of these other jamokes.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Captain K, good morning to you. Says, why is there commercial breaks in the middle of your commercials? The only time I've had that happen is when I rewatch one of your episodes, not when you're live. Timmy, this is good news because if YouTube is running commercials on our show, that means we're getting tons and tons of views because they only do that with very successful shows.
It's true.
It's bad news, though. I hope they're not like putting commercials over our content, though. That's what I'm.
Yeah, that's how YouTube works.
Yeah.
They'll just cut you off in the middle of a sentence and they'll show an ad.
Bantry says, if you missed SR's take on the Bucs having multiple $20 million plus players, go find it for a better understanding on how much the Bucs can reasonably send, which we just did. So, yeah. John Hill wants to know the thoughts on KSU firing their basketball coach. Sorry, I forgot to ask him or didn't see that. Joel Forsland says also getting YouTube ads in the middle of the broadcast.
Yeah.
So they cover up our commercials with their commercials?
Yeah.
Well, that's not
a lot
cool.
of stuff. Well, how else are they going to do it? They don't know when we go to break.
Yeah, well, I guess they do.
YouTube doesn't know when we go to break. They just throw things in randomly. That's how it works.
But does that cover up our content?
It's supposed to pause it. It pauses the content.
Okay.
So that when it comes back from whatever commercial they're showing or you skip it, then it comes back to where it left off.
You skip the commercial?
I mean, I can on mine.
Okay.
Let's me skip commercials. Yeah.
Joel Forsland, good morning to you. Said, which edge rusher will we draft? I bet he'll be excited about dropping in coverage on third down to cover tight ends. Exactly. That's the other thing. Max Crosby ain't going to come here. I don't know if he has a no trade, but if he does, he'd be like, no, thank you. Bantry says, my biggest concerns about the Bucs D are Foote, Caldwell, and Edwards. None have shown the ability to coach up our develop players. 100%. Coaching is a joke. Yep. WD had a big boost to their FM signals. Same information, better signal. Their AM signal was a beast anyway. I don't know how much it changes it, to be honest with you. Doesn't matter. You're listening to podcasts and watching streaming most of the time anyway. More people doing that than listening to the radio. Joel Forsman says, which man cornerbacks are the draft and we can play 15 yards off the ball in soft coverage? Need details.
None of them.
None of them. All right. Big O is in the house. Let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side, and we're going to talk about what's going on with the union. And we'll get to some more of your comments as well. Tony Clark resigned today. Bit of a surprise, to say the least. So what effect does that have on what's going on with baseball? We will find out. Hey, we're brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. If you screwed up Valentine's Day, you can still go over to the Gold and Diamond Source and make it right, because they've always got the best prices. They have the best folks over there, the best staff that will not try to get you into something that you don't need to get into. They will stick to your budget and find you something that is absolutely awesome. And if you got one of those gift cards, ladies, well, it's time to go spend it at the Gold and Diamond Source. Great selection, great folks over there. Your husband was so smart to get that gift card and doubled it. Oh, wait, you didn't get both the gift cards? Oh, we just got somebody in trouble.
Oops.
We love you out there. Go spend it at the Gold and Diamond Source. Back in 3. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
All right, guys, don't screw this up. It's Valentine's Day, and the first decision you make is go to the Gold and Diamond Source, where right now you can buy one, get one 40% off during their exclusive Valentine's promotion. Express your love with exquisite jewelry from the Gold and Diamond Source, where they have the largest selection of engagement rings. And here's where it gets really good. Starting on Friday at the Open, you can get a $1,000 gift card, and they will match it with another $1,000 gift card. Get $2,000 worth of spending power for just $1,000. Then at 6 o'clock, it goes down to $500. The $500 card match goes from 6 o'clock until close. So get in there on Friday up to 6 o'clock. It's a $1,000 gift card. They'll match it, giving you up to $2,000 in immediate spending power. Then after 6 o'clock, it's $500, and they'll match it and give you up to $1,000 in spending power. Don't miss it. It's Valentine's Day, and the only place to shop is at the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
It's a love you give only at Gold and Diamond Source.
JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Hey folks, Rays baseball and the summer heat will be here before you know it. So don't let your AC unit strike out and cost you hundreds or thousands for an emergency repair. Get a 1-year maintenance plan from Third Generation Plumbing and AC for just $169. Though will come out twice a year and service your unit. Clean the drain line, make sure it's running to peak efficiency. If you need an emergency repair, it's going to cost you hundreds, if not thousands more. It's a no-brainer, guys. Just call the great friendly folks at Third Generation. They work with American Standard Heating and Cooling to ensure you have the most efficient and durable units. Their split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. So choose my guys, John Rodriguez and PJ, at Third Generation, along with American Standard Heating and Cooling. Don't wait for the emergency that'll cost you thousands. Call Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard. 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Third Generation Plumbing, great place to work, by the way. Think about that. You have a trade, if you're an electrician or a plumber, and you're looking for a better place to work, why not Third Generation Plumbing? Great family-owned business. John Rodriguez and PJ over there, great dudes. And they run a great business, as you all know. If you have any issues with plumbing or AC, they work with American Standard Heating and Cooling, and they are the standard as well. So if you're looking for a job, please submit your resume at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. There's a little button on there you can submit and go work for a great company. They pay well, holidays, benefits, all that good stuff. All right, the man, the myth, Orestes Destrade joining us here. Former Major Leaguer. Who went to FanFest and enjoyed.
No,
FanFest.
actually, I know.
You didn't make it?
Yeah, I didn't make it. I had a kind of family situation that I needed to take care of, so was not able to go.
So it was 49,999.
Yeah,
short of 50.
Me and my family kind of kept it under 50,000, unfortunately. But
come on, dog. Well, everybody else was there.
Yeah,
it looked like they all had a great time.
They had a great time. My goodness,
Ken Babby was there.
Everybody was there. So, and I'm happy for it because you know what? They weren't. They did something last year that they were kind of hemmed in. They did it at the pier, and it was not as. This is great. This was a situation where they were able to go right next to the Trop on 16th and do a lot of wonderful things. I applaud the Rays for pulling this off and doing such a great job of it. And again, remember what I've been saying. This is a honeymoon period, and everybody is excited. Believe it or not, as much as a lot of people are not crazy about the Trop overall and its tenure and all the years. It's nice to come back, home to a major league ballpark. I'm certainly with the old group. We weren't getting a $70-80 million renovation of this place, but we got one now. Got that,
and so that's good. I mean, they're going to be new video boards, new sound.
The pictures that I'm seeing look great.
They do. The new field looks great.
That's what I'm talking about. The field, the turf. Yeah. There's always been a problem with that turf. They've turned it over several times over the last 20 years, and hopefully this time they got it just right, and it's going to be a really sweet playable turf.
And just for the fans as well, all the the inner workings, all the floors and everything's going to be redone. So that's going to be nice.
It's going to be a lot, a lot not brand spanking new, but feeling
still obsolete as hell with catwalks and everything.
The aura of going back in there. Any way you look at it, those old stadiums and all that have a spirit to them. Yeah, and I truly believe that. That there's places that you can go all the way back to even the Sombrero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a uniqueness to it.
The Orange Bowl, another
Orange Bowl for sure.
But it had magic.
It was a dump. It really was, but it had magic to it. So
y'all are going to get about halfway through May, and y'all are going to be like, "Man, we don't need a new stadium. We got the new Trop, man. We're good. What stadium?
Shut the F up.
Hear me. I'm on.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
I see people on social media go, well, then why move? I'm like, come on now. Jesus.
Wow.
Have you not been to a new stadium?
Can you talk to Jerry Jones, come over here, maybe drop a few $100 million there?
There you go.
Our good old boy Jerry from Arkansas.
He's still paying off his stadium. By the way, Big O,
they get a ton of money.
I need your take on this.
Go ahead.
Metal bats in college.
I didn't mean to call you a goat head, but go ahead.
I've been called worse. Like this week, it was fun. Is it time to get rid of metal bats in college?
That's a great thing. Here's the problem. It's one simple problem.
Cost.
It's very simple. It's just cost. Even though I will say metal bats are upwards of $400 or $500 now. But
they don't break.
It's that simple.
How often do you have to replace a metal bat now?
You're asking the wrong guy because
Yeah.
I'm not in the college.
Yeah.
So I just
Nick,
spent 3 days.
I know that I protected my Easton like if it was Excalibur, bro.
I remember because we're of the age that we started with wood bat. There were no metal bats when we played Little League until I think I was about 11 or 12 years old, and somebody bought the first aluminum bat.
Yeah, because we go back to the late 70s.
And everybody was like, "Can I use your bat? Can I use your bat?" And that was fine at first. And then somebody said, "Oh, those bats only have so many hits in them." Yeah. And then like, "No, you can't use my bat."
No. Yeah, there was a thing about your bats because first of all, for the time frame at that point, they still were expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were $50-$60.
Yeah.
And that was a heck of a lot of money for my parents.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So but I you know what? One day I'm going to bring in Excalibur because
bat Excalibur?
Are you kidding me? I have a bat.
Of course you do.
I have a bat. It's an Easton. Okay, and I definitely need to talk about the breaking.
Oh
news.
my God! This is
just
great.
Real quick. It was 60 seconds. I have a bat. So when I came here to Florida Junior College, I had offers to go play 4-year schools. I had gotten drafted not as high. I had a little bit of a knee injury when I was in high school and whatnot, and I had a great junior year, not as good a senior year. So I didn't get drafted as high as I wanted to. So what do? If you're in Florida, Arizona, California,
2-year college,
you go to JC, and you raise your stock. So I was using a 35-inch, 31-ounce Easton, and I was 6'4", 220, and it was just too light. You know? So,
I was gonna say that's the size I used.
Yeah. So the father of one of my dear friends, Ari Velasco Jr., his father, senior, owned a little corner sporting goods store. We just would go over there.
Yeah,
he would give us deals and discounts. He was the man.
Bob's Sporting Goods at Hollywood Mall.
Thank you. It was just like that. So Ari Velasco's store. So I go off to college. I come here and I use that bat in the fall, do it, pretty good. And then my dad's talking to him. He goes, man, he just, they don't make them any bigger. He goes, let me check with Easton. He contacts Easton. He sends me in the mail a 36-32.
Jam. Excalibur.
Never seen it. That was the only one. Never seen it since. A 36-inch metal bat, 32-ounce.
Wow.
Got that boy. I set the JUCO record, the Florida State JUCO record that stood. In fact, I have to check. I still think it stands. I hit 23 home runs in 55 games.
Holy shit.
Killed the league. I mean, this is with Glenn.
Come on.
And
check it out.
And my stock, woo!
Yeah.
Yankees picked me up. And that bat still sits in my office.
You better have it framed.
I don't have it framed. I pick it up every now and then.
We gotta get that framed.
I don't want it framed. I pick it up every now and then, and it gives me power.
Well, hang it on the wall with a description, and then you can pick it up.
That sucker, I pick it up every now and it gives me energy. It has
it's Excalibur.
It's something.
You remove it from the rock.
Yes, it was like. Wait till I bring this baby in here, man. This thing. You're gonna. The one behind you is a 35.
Well, get that sound drop right.
Natural, like they play at Globe Life Field every home run.
Combination of the Naturals bat and Excalibur. That catapulted me, and everybody on my team wanted to use it, and only a couple of guys could use it because they had to be big. But that's a funny story when you ask.
So Big O,
that's the answer to that.
I think I told you last week I was going to catch the Shriners Children's College Showdown here at Globe Life Field over the weekend. I caught a number. Yeah, Arkansas, Texas Tech, TCU, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma State.
Great tournament.
Oklahoma. I caught a number of games over the week, and I've realized there's only one sound I hate more than indoor baseball. It's a metal bat in indoor.
And now it's composite, so it doesn't ding as much.
No, it doesn't ding.
It's a little more
echoed.
Yeah, but listen, that's the cost. That's basically the guys don't listen. The guys, honestly, guys don't know how to use a wooden bat. Most college kids don't, so they'd be breaking them, and the replacement factor would be in the hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Rick. Before we move on to the breaking news, Rick says JP used a tree trunk in 3rd grade. Almost got drafted, but his contract demands were too high. Bo J.P. Jackson. Yeah.
I was.
I actually
He
set
held out.
I set the elementary school record at Broward County with it's had 17 kickball home runs.
Nice.
I believe that still stands. Check that out, Homo.
Yeah.
See if
No,
that's
definitely had the
You
JUCO
just
record.
call me homo.
He's
Got to enunciate there, JP.
I think it was
even if it's in
homie. I think it was homie.
This show.
Homie, but and then he said "oh" at the end.
Okay.
We're referencing me.
I mean, I've been
Homie
told
and
words.
O.
All right.
Homie and O.
All right, let's
Which
get
you
this back on the
say
rails here.
fast together.
So Tony Clark,
Oh,
you
my
spent
God.
you spent a lot of time with him a couple weeks ago in Colorado Springs.
He was just we were there as I talked about it on the show that was there. I'm on the board with the MLBPAA, which is the Alumni Association, and we had our big yearly board meetings. He came out and addressed us predominantly about talking about what's looming ahead, which is this massive CBA contract that's going to be starting to get negotiated in the fall after the season, and the reality that there probably is going to be a lockout and why, which the big elephant in the room is obviously the salary cap. But wait, there's more, and that point was not brought up. But a lot of people and all of us in the room there knew that there was some grumblings and some things going on with reference to Players Way, with reference to one team. If you don't know what those entities are, they're Players Way basically is something that was near and dear to Tony's heart.
Mhm.
I've known Tony not super well, but enough to know that I think his heart was in the right place when he created Players Way. Players Way is a way to reach out to the inner city kids and the kids. Because remember, baseball right now, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry in the travel and showcasing world. So long gone really are the little leagues.
Yeah.
And they're still around, but they're not very well backed and they're not really supported, to the point that honestly, even high school baseball is not as big as it used to be.
So there's no little leagues anymore?
There's little leagues, but it's just not, a lot of the kids aren't playing in the little leagues anymore. You know what I mean?
Travel ball.
It's travel ball. So little leagues really are for the kids that are
up till about 10 years old. And then,
well, no, they continue on. You still have pony leagues. You have other leagues that are set up to not be travel ball teams.
Right.
And there are city leagues, which I'm big proponent of. But a lot of those kids aren't playing in those, or sometimes they'll
the
pop
better
into
kids are playing in the other. Yeah.
Two types of kids: the better talented kids and the kids that have money.
Right.
Right.
Are playing in these other travel.
They're playing in these travel in their own city league,
which is
teams,
a scam in and of
and
itself.
they're traveling.
Yeah.
They're traveling all over the place and playing in not only in travel ball but showcase ball. So kids at 11, 12 years old are already being showcased for.
Get out of here.
They are. Listen, hey, they do it in soccer. They do it in football. So you're showcasing, the talent for a potential college. What most of the parents are realistic. They want their kids to get a scholarship, or get drafted. But so he came up with this Players Way, and it was supposed to be funded by a myriad of different, scenarios through Players Inc., which is the players approved this, by the way.
Right.
This is nothing gets by MLBPA without the players' approval. So it started back in, he created it in 2019, 2020, right around COVID. Wanted to help a lot of the inner city kids. What the problem became is that it's showing millions of dollars going into Players Way and not enough
going out.
Well, it's not so much going out, but production of what is, kind of government goes through that, right? We're talking.
You know what the worst part about a lot of this stuff, and it's just, I hate to interrupt you here.
No, but it's a problem.
It always comes down to, all this money that we throw into these great ideas,
programs.
Is that's a great idea,
correct? And
they usually cloak it in, we're going to reach out to minorities, and the damn money never gets to the minorities.
Right.
In government, in this, it never gets there.
Right.
It's just fraud.
Well, it's
and
looking,
that's the shame of it all.
This is
because it's all well intended.
It's what's showing, if you on paper, is a lot of money coming in, not enough programs and clinics, and like, for example, I got to speak from experience being involved in the MLBPAA. And being on the board. So we look at the numbers, we scrutinize everything, right? and how many clinics we do a year, 275. We were like worldwide. I believe I got to look at the numbers again. I think over this period of years, barely a dozen clinics have been done, and not enough stuff to add up to the monies that's been put into it. Now,
so where'd the money go?
So we don't know, and that's
we know.
We don't know, and then there's another group.
I know where it didn't go.
To clinics and scenarios and programs,
to where it was supposed to,
and webinars and things like that. So that's what's kind of like face value. Again, you can't. Everybody deserves their day in court.
Absolutely,
and saying things. So he's already has said before, way back when, I think last summer, that he said, "Listen, Players Way was put together for a positive thing, and anything of a misappropriation is false." He's going to have to answer. Some people are going to have to answer. So I think what ended up happening, and very similar to other scenarios, when the feds come in and start taking people's phones and taking computers, which happened last year, under the radar, and
it's happening more and more. Yeah,
they're coming in, they're confiscating so they can see the books and see the numbers and see what's going on. Now you've got a real problem on your hands, and I think he just decided to resign and to slow the waters a bit and say, I'll take the hit for this thing.
So what happens now?
What happens now? Obviously the deputy commissioner, not commissioner, but the second in hand, and I forget his name right now, but would have to take over, or they'll have to have a quick, of the 30 player reps and get together. In fact, they're having a come to Jesus meeting
Executive
as we
council
speak right
meeting.
now.
Yeah.
Right. It started, I believe, at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's internal, that I heard from a source, a friend of mine that is in the mix there, that started at about 11 o'clock today, Eastern Standard Time. So they're kind of trying to figure out, so we'll know a lot off of that.
Yeah.
When that is done, as to who the next in line is going to be, what their next process is. Because remember, spring training is just going on right now. Today was supposed to be the first day that the MLBPA goes around to all
start
30
talking to
teams,
all the teams, update them on
everything, what's going on.
So Tony I'm sure has devised some type of script or strategy for how they're going to handle this.
How they're going to handle this, and that's probably one of the reasons that he's doing it now, because he didn't want to start those
meetings
So
whoever's going to take over is probably going to, and I was saying earlier, now the person that comes in, will they be more hard line than Tony? Do they already have a strategy point that set up that they're going to adhere to going into these negotiations?
Yeah,
I think
I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't think that the negotiations, two things. Number one, I don't think the negotiations are going to change, their modality and mentality as they're going into the negotiation. I don't believe they're going to change, because I think this was beyond Tony Clark. Tony Clark was pushing the narrative,
right?
But I think the players are all on board, with the fight that they want to stand on. Right now, where do they compromise? Come January, February, March. Oh my gosh, we're missing games in April and May. Where do they compromise? Same thing on the MLBP side. That was yet to be known. So in one sense,
leadership matters.
Leadership matters.
And Tony was pretty hard line.
But I think he was that they're going to toe the line on that. Okay. What hurts is that the flip side of that is that you've been jarred by something that's massive here. A federal investigation, even if it doesn't, create indictments, it doesn't look good.
No,
right?
No.
So
it's a bad time and a bad look for the players.
Optics for the players. Yeah. How much? I think that's another reason that he probably did it now.
Because public perception, I think, does
huge.
Frame these negotiations. If the public starts, getting news and feeling like, oh, these players are super greedy, blah 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 blah, or these owners are, whoever wins the PR battle, usually wins the negotiation.
It's like an election, man.
Exactly.
It's
very simple.
If you want to break it down, because of the massiveness of this, what we're talking about, a multi-billion-dollar
We're talking about
industry.
$15 billion a year.
Exactly. So you're almost looking at like, I'm not saying which one is which, but it's almost like Democrat, and Republican, whoever is which, and they're trying to knock each other down and knock pegs down, and it gets ugly. So public, perception is huge. Now, that being said, this is, if you really break it down, this is an isolated endeavor, right? That was misappropriated, possibly. Again, I don't want to speak out loud because it's all alleged, but possibly misappropriated, possibly mismanaged. I hope to God that it's just that it was mismanaged.
Yeah.
So if it was just mismanaged,
very well could have been.
Then okay, then you push that by the wayside and you move forward. But it's very ugly. Needed to happen now. This has been going on. This investigation has been going on since last year. So this isn't news inside the world of baseball.
In the grand scheme of things, we'll get into this more in the O Show coming up at 12:30. There's going to be new leadership. That's going to be the face of the union. And that's going to matter when it's negotiations.
It's going to matter, but I don't think at this
I nominate Orestes Destrade.
No. This is
the fans love it.
Yeah, this is delicate, man, and there's a lot at stake here. And remember,
who's it going to be?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean,
you would be great for that.
No. They've got plenty of guys there. That
they're going to need someone who's good, who's literally
and it doesn't
beyond
here's
reproach.
Here's the catch with this, and maybe
Jesus maybe needed.
Maybe it's where it went wrong. And I'm a big fan of Tony. Big fan. I really respect him.
He's a good dude.
He's a good dude. Incredible big heart. Things got
this is
sideways.
all well intended, no doubt about it.
Here's the catch. When you really look at it, the best served times for any union, but I'm going to be specific to the MLB, has been when it's not a player at the helm, when it's a Donald Fear, when it's Marvin Miller before that in the 70s and into the early 80s. So you need a union lawyer.
I don't think there was anyone more hated and worse at PR than Donald Fear.
Donald Fear was not good at PR, great at what he accomplished.
He was a good lawyer, but he was a bad-faced person.
Terrible. But great lawyer
horrible.
and that's what you need. You need a union.
You need an asshole lawyer.
You need
but he doesn't have to be the face of it. Let it get a but that guy can be the negotiator.
Yeah,
but you need
I disagree though. I totally disagree. I don't believe that if I was me right now.
But you just said you need to win the PR battle.
You need to win the PR battle, so you need the right, strong union, a guy that understands union law.
Yeah,
and he's the head. I'm telling you that I feel that's where you're best suited for the players.
Yeah.
Not to have a former player that gets put in between of things. Now you have a former player as an underling and kind of a mouthpiece to the current players and to the world of baseball that people like. That a guy like a Tom Glavine. John Smoltz is too busy.
The program.
He's too busy with other things, with Fox and stuff like that. But maybe
he would be great for
Tommy Glavine would be great. Those type of guys, I think, are respected, good face guys that can,
then you have the asshole behind.
Wherever they sit, you need a strong union guy.
Yeah.
You need a
all right, we got lots
to
talk about on the Big O Show for sure. And evidently, judging from the comments here, we need to do a whole show on travel ball.
Ooh, travel ball is big.
Travel ball is now half kids that should be in little league, says Joel Forsland. And,
thank you, Joel.
And Rick says, I've donated my money to Somali baseball daycare. Great organization. And Rick says also, travel ball is now dance moms. And Joel's like, great comparison. It is a disaster. It is another well-intended, another well-intended organization
started 20 years ago. Well-intended,
completely bastardized.
It's gotten crazy,
ridiculous. All right, lots to talk about coming up on the Big O Show. Timmy,
Excalibur,
can't wait. That's fantastic. All right, thank you guys for jumping in as well. Great comments.
Timmy, you got to hold my Excalibur.
Oh,
I will.
Jesus.
I'll hold your Excalibur any day, Big O.
Oh my God. We don't have to worry about the YouTube commercials. We're going to be completely sanctioned. Jesus Christ. I mean, if we do it in Spanish, though, we can say whatever the hell we want. So that's fine.
Jamon.
That's fine.
It's ham.
We can talk about
Muy
anal sex
bien.
with she-devils.
I did
We're
not
good.
say that.
We're
Hey,
good.
hey.
All right. No, that was Bad Bunny on the Super Bowl.
That was Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl, so we're okay.
Yeah, we're good. As long as we say it in Spanish, we can say whatever the hell we want. Have a great day, everybody. Big O Show coming up at around 12:30.